everyone. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. So, sorry about that. I was a bit late. I was working on my book, the second one. So far, we were putting some turning page numbers on the book and page breaker kind of thing as well, like insert break, page break thing. You know, that's what we've been doing, and doing some page numbers, correcting the red and the blues of mistakes. We had to correct the words in it. So we're nearly done with it. Get the copyrights, of course. So, but anyway, yes. So we have 1 week left. So we are doing, next week will be completely done. We have to do the book cover, like the design that we have to work on, and my picture should be also on the outside, and we already have the inside picture. We can do the outside of the picture of me at the library. I was taking a picture of myself hanging out at the library as I'm reading a book or something, but yeah, we're almost done with it. So Tuesday is our last time working on the book. We will be putting on Amazon. It's nearly done, so that is the reason why we put it off a little while, because we're busy with stuff. Fearless is almost done with his classes. So next year is his last year, and then he graduates and he'll be completely done. So anyway, but yeah. Anyway, we have a new story for you guys tonight. It is called The Groundsman at the War Memorial, which is like people, I don't know, say I'm not really sure what the groundsman does at the memorial. Do you know what the groundsman does at the memorial?
I don't know, maybe maintains the lawns and things like that.
Like burying dead people at the war.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So maybe that's what it is. So anyway, yes. So we are on season 6, episode 216. Fortunately, I don't know, we lost a 50th subscriber. I only have 49 right now, so hopefully I will get back the 50th subscriber. So anyway, we had a long day today. Caden had his appointment, had to order his new glasses, of course. We had to take him to his mom's, and Yadira came in with us. After we dropped Caden off at his mom's, then we went to Mo's Fish, of course, restaurant, and we got some food. Then we came back. Well, we had to pick up Vince, that is Phyllis's client that lives with him full time. So we went back to his house, Fearless's house, and we were working on my novel, my second novel. We're correcting the words of my novel, so the sentence. So anyway, we're nearly done. So, but yes, I stayed with Fearless a little bit longer than usual. I usually go home around 2 p.m. or 3, somewhere around there, while Chris was still working. So Chris had to go to Marco's Pizza from like 5 to 7 usually, and from 5:30 to 7:30, and I was with Fearless working on my novel. So now I am home. Well, we just had dinner. Now I'm here, doing my podcast here, talking to you people. So anyway, but yes, I'm nearly almost finished with my novel. So Tuesday is the last time. So we're gonna finish it on Monday. Hopefully on Tuesday we'll figure something out. So, but yes. Anyway, let's get started on the story. So, get yourself something to drink. Sit back, relax, get under the covers probably, and please click like, share, and subscribe to Ghosting with Anya. You're always welcome to join me on the conversation. You're always welcome to participate on this. And if you have any opinions, you're always welcome to leave me comments down below, right here on YouTube, right here on live chatting on live stream. So anyway, let's get started on the story. The groundsman at the War Memorial. That is season 6, episode 216. Eric only agreed to the temporary city parks assignment because overtime in December paid well, and because the War Memorial grounds looked easier on paper than the skating rink or the holiday market. Memorial sat on a square of raised lawn beside the courthouse with black granite walls, a central bronze figures of trimmed hedges that looked severe in summer and skeletal in winter. During the day, tourists took pictures in school ground groups, whispered names they did not fully understand. At night, once the plaza lights came on and the traffic thinned, the place became exposed in a different way. Wind crossing open stone, wreath ribbons clicking against poles, and every footstep sounding like it did. Eric's tasks were simple: sweep the paths, replace dead tribute flowers, salt the perimeter when ice formed, and lock the service gate. The first strange thing happened after a windstorm when he spent an hour rewriting toppled flag markers only to look up and find one row already standing perfectly straight where he knew he hadn't reached yet. He checked the grounds camera later and found nothing useful. The angle on that row had glitched for 40 seconds. The old maintenance supervisor, hearing about it, asked whether the corrected row was in the northeast corner. When Eric said yes, the man nodded and said it was probably Walt again. Walter Hensley, the city's longtime memorial groundsman, had maintained the site for 3 decades and was known for treating it with a formality some people found excessive until they saw how quickly public memory uh, degrades under weather and convenience. He died of a stroke while setting fallen markers back in place after a storm on Veterans Day. Since then, city crews occasionally found wreaths rewired, debris already swept from key sightlines, or bent markers, flags restaked before mourning ceremonies. He liked the names to face clean. The supervisor said, hated lazy angles, said the dead deserved straight lines if nothing else. Eric accepted that story with the half belief practical workers give to old site legends, enough to be polite, not enough to rearrange their worldview. Then the memorial began correcting him. If he left a push broom leaning against the granite where it cast a photo-line shadow, he'd return to find it hung on the service hook. If he missed a candle glass in the planting bed after dusk, it would be standing in the middle of the path next round, as if to embarrass him into competence. One night, after he muttered that no one would notice if one wreath ribbon frayed under after the holiday, he found the ribbon replaced with a fresh one tied in an older military style no one on current staff knew how to do. He started arriving 10 minutes earlier simply because the place had made carelessness feel more visible than he liked. The first sighting came in the reflection of the polished wall. Eric was scraping ice off the lower path under yellow city lamps when he saw behind his own shape another man in heavy work coat and knit cap walking the memorial line with a bucket in one hand. The figure moved slowly, checking each wreath stand, each marker, each line of names etched into stone. When Eric turned, the plaza stood empty. Back in the wall reflection, the man stopped near a wreath cluster and pointed with his bucket handle toward a dark patch under the nearest flag. Eric crouched there and found the edge of a bronze plaque lifting from freeze expansion. Another week of weather and a child's curious fingers would have peeled it far enough to damage the mounting. He filed emergency maintenance. He filed emergency maintenance and spent the rest of the shift speaking much less. What changed the haunting from eerie? The meaningful was a family. A woman came one afternoon with with 2 children and a folded page printed from an online casualty database, trying to find a grandfather's name for the first time. The search tools on site were down. Eric offered to help but had only partial maps and a line of people waiting for holiday wreath placement. While he tried to narrow section and era, a gust lifted the woman's paper and carried it not into traffic but across the plaza to the exact wall panel where the name was etched. The kids ran after it and stopped in front of their grandfather's letters. As if guided, the woman cried openly. Eric, shaken, looked toward the northeast hedge and saw for one brief second the old groundsman standing with his bucket in the shadows, hat off, gaze lowered. After that, Eric stopped thinking of Walt as merely the ghost of maintenance. He was also the custodian of access, the one still making sure the living reached the right names. During the city's annual winter remembrance, budget cuts and a staffing mix-up nearly left the plaza underprepared. The microphone stand was delivered to the wrong side, extra chairs arrived late, and a contractor parked a lift truck where families. Eric spent the morning triangling mistakes while inwardly cursing everyone with salaried authority. Then he noticed the lift truck keys missing from the ignition and taped to the windshield. A paper service noticed no one had written reposition for ceremonial line. The contractor swore the truck had also somehow rolled 3 feet overnight, despite the break. Around the same time, every memorial booklet left on the visitor stand had been turned to the page with the keynote reading saving volunteers a last-minute scramble. Walt, it seemed, had not limited himself to grass edging and ribbons. He maintained the choreography of respect. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. That's why my eyes go a different direction. I don't know why, but it does. I'm just tired. I've been working very hard. And I've been, working on my book. Yes. I'm always working. So that's why I'm tired. But tomorrow I can sleep in, especially with my cat because she loves to sleep with me. Because she wants her mama. I'm her mama, so that's why I'm here. Anyway, let's just get back to the story. We're almost done here. The city finally funded a permanent memorial preservation plan the following spring after public pressure, donor complaints, and the accumulation of small but recurring maintenance anomalies. No one could neatly explain away Eric, who had once viewed the assignment as easy. Over time, now treated it like custodianship. He pushed for better signage, updated maps, and trained volunteers to understand that grounds work at a memorial is not landscaping. It's interpretation through on the anniversary of Walt's death. Eric placed a new galvanized bucket beside the service shared with one white carnation laid across it. The next morning, the bucket was gone from the shed and standing at the northeast corner of the memorial with all the fallen overnight marker flags already restaked around it. Eric laughed out loud in the cold because some forms of approval are too practical to be mistaken. The plaza still gathers wind, wreath debris, and human forgetfulness every season, but it also holds a standard now that newer crews feel, even if no one tells them the whole story. They straighten before entering, they lower voices by instinct. They check lines twice. Eric does not know whether Walt still walks the memorial every storm night. He suspects he does, at least when the city lets budget sloppiness drift too close to disrespect the dead. After all, rarely need monuments as much as they need the living to maintain them properly. Walt Hensley apparently remains committed to the less glamorous half of remembrance. That is very interesting. Apparently someone passed away like 3 decades ago who was a groundskeeper at the cemetery somewhere at the war memorial, but apparently this person worked so hard until his death, but he took his job very seriously. So I'm guessing his name was Walter. Kind of like Walt Disney, but his name was Walter, but he was the groundsman, like a caretaker or something at the war memorial, like for any soldier, whatever he did. But anyway, yeah, so now that the story is done, we are going straight to the questions. If you guys have any questions, please let me know what you guys are thinking. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to let me know what you guys are thinking. So, Chris, what did you think of the story?
It was a good story.
You say that to every story.
Well, I like all your stories. I really like the plot line with this story.
Good, me too. And those of you that are watching my show from home, let me know in the comments if you think the story was really good. Did it touch your heart? Did it get you so emotional? Is it related to any of you guys, to your family members? Just let me know what you guys think. So I probably think it was. Anyway, let's get started on the questions because I know you might have some. So tomorrow we'll be doing episode 217. So we'll talk about that at the end of the questions when I do the outro. So I hope that this made a lot of sense to you guys. So, yes, I'm very tired. So after this, I'm probably just going to get cleaned up and get ready for bed because I'm tired as hell. So, anyway, let's get started with questions. So, 10 questions, 10 answers. You're always welcome to participate on that. Let me know what you guys think. So, but yeah, anyway, let's get started. Would you have believed the memorial was being maintained by a ghost? Yes, I think so. So, if I saw the spirit of the groundsman that was correcting a lot of names on the headstone or something, he was like correcting them, put him in the right spots, I would totally believe it. I would have to witness it to believe it. I would take pictures, I would make videos, and literally put some evidence to it. I would like keep it either to myself, or I would literally upload that video on YouTube, like right here on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram, like literally. So, yes, I definitely would believe that the memorial was being maintained by a spirit. Yes. Let's go to number 2. Do you think Walt stayed for the grounds, the names, or the dignity of the place? I think he stayed because he wanted to make sure the names were corrected in the right spots. He was helping the current living maintenance guy, the groundsman, I think. Same question for you, babe. Do you think Walt stayed for the grounds, the names, or the dignity of the place?
Dignity of the place.
Like he took his job very seriously.
Yes.
Good. I like that. So my answer is gonna be the dignity of the place. But yes. So he took his job very seriously. He was trying to help the living current groundsman. Oh, there's Tally. Hi, baby. There's my baby. She heard mommy's voice. Tally. Hi, sweet Pookie. Did you miss mommy? Yeah? Oh, she missed you.
I know.
Tally, I miss you, baby. Sorry about that, guys. Tally. Come to mama, baby. Come to mama. Yeah, she likes to hear my voice. She wants to know, why is mommy doing podcast right now? It's too late. Should do it during the day, probably. That's what she's thinking of. She just wants to be near mommy and daddy. That is so cute. That's why I love my cat. So, yes, I think Walter stayed because he was trying to help the current groundsman correct the right names and spots of the names of the headstones. My answer always gonna be number 3. So let's go to question number 3. This video is almost done anyway. So, why do memorials make powerful but different haunting settings? That is a good question, guys. Perhaps maybe there's a lot of history going on at the memorial the war memorial. It's cemetery. So there's a lot of different powerful places. I mean, there's some memories, like good ones, bad ones. There's a lot of tragedy that happened, of course, during the war. A lot of people have died by fighting against other soldiers. A lot of people do that. So, same question for you. Why do memorials make powerful but different hunting settings?
Because a memorial usually has a lot of people being mourned or something. Has someone important being mourned.
Like acknowledgments, remembrance, that sort of thing.
Yep.
That's exactly what these people do. They pay respects to the person they loved the most, that they are mourning on. Like, for instance, I was grieving of my great uncle, Alexander. He died because he was having a stroke. Um, well, I didn't witness him having a stroke because I, I never saw him again since, when I was a baby, okay? Sorry about that. I have not seen my great uncle since I was an infant, okay? That's why my mom and I were mourning him. But we didn't have a chance to go to his funeral because we were always working, okay? I haven't seen him since I was an infant. I miss him. He was 84 years old, and he was my grandfather's younger brother. So he was my mother's uncle, but he was my great uncle. I miss him so much, even though I don't have any memories of him that much because I was too young to remember him anyway. And same thing with my grandma, my mother's mom. She died when I was 2, but I was too young to remember her. My mother and I were mourning her as well, but I know she's watching over us. I know my great uncle is watching over me because he knows how much I loved him, but I don't remember hanging out with him when I was an infant. The last time I saw him when I was just an infant, a small newborn infant, and that was it. I think he was like in his 40s when last time I saw him. Anyway, there's a lot of people who mourn their loved ones. People die unexpectedly because it was their time. That's how we mourn them, apparently. We pay respects, we give them flowers, and we promised our loved ones that we would come and visit them at their gravesite and tell them anything new or whatever. We would promise them that we will see them again one day when it's our time to pass away. Like literally. So, if I went to see my great uncle again, like say, if I ever went to see his grave, I would want to tell him that I turned out pretty well. I've done everything in my life, got married, got a house, got a job. I wrote my own novels. I graduated high school at age 20. And I'm on TikTok all the time. I've got my own podcasting. I'm traveling everywhere every year for the summer. And, just working every day, doing my favorite thing to do, whatever. I learned how to knit, I learned how to crochet. I'm just, hanging out with my friends, doing what I normally do. So that's what I would tell my dead loved ones, my great uncle who died. That's exactly what I would have done if I went to see his grave. Maybe gave him fresh flowers. So that's what it is. That's why it's different. Okay, guys, let's go to number 4. What was more unsettling? The corrected flags or seeing him in the wall reflection? I think seeing Walt on the wall reflection. If I saw him right now, I would be brave enough to talk to him. Like, I would not be afraid to see him. I would not be like afraid to come up to him and talk to him, maybe, or he would come up to me and ask for my help, maybe, talk to his living relatives, maybe, tell them the message, what he would want them to know, or something like that. That's exactly what Walt would have done if he came up to me as a ghost. But yes, I would see him, I would listen to his story, and I would definitely help him as well. Move on to the afterlife, maybe pass on the message that he wanted his family to know, whatever the message he wanted them to know. So, but yes, I think seeing him in the reflection can be a lot unsettling. So, let's go to number 5. All right, we have 5 questions left before I sign off. Was Eric right to change how the city treated the site? Yes, he did. If he did not, things would have been different than ever, or things would stay the same. I think Eric did the right thing that he did. So, if Walter did not ask for Eric's help to change anything on the gravesite, things would have been this exactly same thing. Things can be very complicated. So that's why Eric did the right thing by changing how the city was treating the site. The grounds thing. All right, let's go to number 6. We're almost done here. What do you make of the phrase, the dead served straight lines? That's a great question. I think maybe the dead deserved to be like, I don't know, in a straight line. I mean, like stay still, maybe something. Here's a question for you. You might know it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of the phrase, the dead deserved straight lines?
Meaning that they deserve a straight answer?
Like the truth? Yes. They deserve to have the truth, what really happened to them. The truth can always set them free if they were told what really happened. They have to find the archives, the articles, the original papers, that what was written, like anything was fake, they have to correct it somehow. They have to be told what really happened. That's why they deserve to get the truth. They need to be told the truth, what happened to them. Yes. How is maintenance itself part of remembrance in this story? By remembering the way these people lived, reserve their memories. They have to be acknowledged and deserve what they needed to be heard. They deserve to be heard what they should have been heard when they were alive. They wanted to be seen, they wanted to be heard, they wanted to be remembered. That's exactly what they deserved in this story. Same question for you. How is maintenance itself part of remembrance in this story?
Because it's always routine.
The same shift as always?
Yes.
Same routine, how they want to be remembered?
Yes.
You have to pay your respects to the people. That's how they want them to be remembered. How they want to be loved. They wanted to be noticed and heard. So that's how we will always remember the people who passed away unexpectedly. And they deserve to have a proper burial and being respected. So pay their respects, and they deserve to be remembered. Let's go to number 8. Would you feel comforted knowing someone still watched over the memorial? Yes. I would definitely be comforted by someone who are being watched over at the memorial. I definitely would be comforted by any spiritual thing, whatever. I mean, I'm being comforted right now by my great uncle. He's watching over me because he loves me, because he wanted to see what I looked like when I grew up, how I matured, how I turned out to be by the time I became in my adulthood, that sort of thing. But yes, I would feel comforted and protected and loved and acknowledged, remembered. Have good memories with them. Imagine what they looked like when they were alive. I would give them good memories. Remember what they did when they were alive. That sort of thing, yes. All right, we have 2 questions left before I sign off. Can small acts of upkeep carry moral weight? Yes, they can. Same question for you. Can small acts of upkeep carry moral weight?
Yes.
How would you describe that?
Basically, small acts of kindness can add up.
By doing the good deeds.
Yes.
That's exactly what small acts of moral weight can be. Yes. Just by doing good deeds, by helping others. Protect them no matter what. Do what you gotta do. Okay, guys, we have 1 question left before I sign off. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I have a lot of shit to do anyway. If a dead groundsman kept protecting access to names, how would you honor him? That is a good question, you guys. I would honor him by doing the exact same thing he was doing. Protecting access to the names. Preserve the memories and acknowledge his presence, accepting his help, and help others. That's how I would honor him. How would you honor him? Here's a question. If a dead groundsman kept protecting access to names, how would you honor him?
By preserving the memory of all the names.
Exactly. That's exactly what we would have done. Do the exactly same thing that Walter did when he was alive. Preserving a lot of good memories and accepting his help, take his advice, doing the good deeds. Definitely. That's exactly what we we would remember him, how he did his job very seriously. Okay, guys, we are out of time, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching my show, and I hope this made a lot of sense to you guys. And so I just want to let you guys know that we will be putting my second book on Amazon soon. And we have to put the title in, of course, like Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 2, The Return of the Dead, and put the cover on it with my picture outside on the back of my cover of the book, putting on Amazon, put on paperback, and the price on that. And it will be released. We'll have to publish it and be released on Amazon. Hopefully, we will put another price on that. Any price, it doesn't even matter. Maybe $20, maybe less. It depends. That's exactly what we will do Monday and Tuesday. So, anyway, stay safe, have fun, and stay spooky, guys. May God bless you. May God protect you. And may God send you an angel to protect anything that you desire. So, if you see anything like bad spirits, yeah, avoid them as possible. Pray to God, and the good spirit will be there to protect you all, protect your children, and anyone. So, see you guys on next time on Ghosting with Anya, right here on YouTube. We'll be doing still on season 6, episode 217. And the episode is called The Seam in the Choir Robe. This is the new one. So please click like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time. And we'll be on 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. every night right here on live stream. So thank you guys, and have a wonderful night. Bye.